What's going on, man? I'm excited you're here for an episode of Coffee Talks where I curate some of my favorite coffee and some of my favorite leadership talks from some of my favorite people. Man, today we brewing up some drink coffee, do stuff. This company is amazing. They're actually in the Sierra Nevada. The mountains is where they roast out of, because they actually, everywhere they harvest their beans is high altitude, so they roast in the high altitudes. And if you know anything about coffee, I'm just gonna be a little nerd with you for a second. High altitudes brings out the sweetness of the coffee. So when you harvest up there and you roast there, it's bam, double impact. And this is an Ethiopian. They say it's got fruit punch notes, but actually, man, it just punches you with some berries, man. It is so good. It is very distinct in its flavors. Love it, so check it out. And today I'm gonna talk about, out of the leadership side, we actually gonna go some places where I think we all need to be going to. We're gonna be learning from Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It is one of the most classic of classic leadership books, and we need it in 2021 more than ever. And one of his principles kind of starts right out. Don't criticize, don't condemn, and don't complain against people. Come on. That's an important lesson to learn, especially when we have so many distinct differences in people's beliefs, understandings, and behaviors. I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Shawshank Redemption. Classic growing up, right? And I love how the main character, Andy, goes to Ellis, and Ellis is played by Morgan Freeman's character, right? And he goes, I'm innocent. And Morgan Freeman's character goes, dude, everybody in Shawshank's innocent. And they go around the prison yard and goes, hey, did you do it? No, I'm innocent. Did you do it? No, I'm innocent, right? And Dale actually makes this statement. He says, you'll find that even the most hardened criminals who's done some of the worst crimes ever always has a justification of why what they did was right, right? Like human nature, 99 times out of 100, we're just never going to criticize ourselves. We're never going to allow that to happen, and we're not going to receive criticism. Like, think about it in your personal life. Think about it if you've ever had a disagreement with your spouse, right? Even when you know you're wrong, if the emotions are high, what happens? You may know you're wrong, but you ain't budging from your point of view. You dug your heels in, right? You don't want to be criticized. You don't want to be complained about. You don't want to be condemned. You're going to dig your heels in, right? Or think about that person that says that really outlandish comment online, and you could hit them with all the best facts. You could hit them with the best arguments. How many people get changed because of a debate you've seen online? It don't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen in politics. It doesn't happen in religion. It doesn't happen in your personal beliefs. And you'll find this even in people you work with, right? You ever know someone that's done something wrong, yet they always have a justification of why they did it, why it's not that bad. Or they'll blame someone else. Well, it was because of them. Because deep down in our lives, what we do not want to ever happen is to be criticized. We don't want anyone to call something out in us, and we don't want anyone to complain about us. So when you're leading people in this moment, listen to me, how you approach it matters. Here's what I love about Dale says. Dale says, when you're dealing with people, you're not dealing with logical creatures. You're dealing with emotional creatures, right? Like if you're dealing with logical creatures, you just lay out the facts and everybody's going to just go, bam, okay, I got it. But when you're dealing with emotional people, that's the way they focus on. And what happens when you criticize someone is you hurt their pride. When you criticize someone, what happens is they feel not valued or important. And so what happens is, in the name of defending themselves and protecting themselves, they go to the opposite extremes. And so you don't find resolution. Actually, what do you find? You find separation. And that's what foolish leaders do. Foolish leaders like to complain. They like to criticize. They like to attack. But healthy leaders, leaders with character, understand a really important fact. They understand that for us to get to that place of resolution, we've got to have an understanding of where that other person's coming from, and we've got to walk in forgiveness. Why? Because the goal is not winning, the goal is health. It's resolution. It's coming together. And we have to understand what motivates the person, right? Psychologically speaking, people in our survival instinct needs community. And when you criticize someone, what you're telling them is you're not good enough, or you're not valuable enough, or you're not healthy enough, and they get defensive. However, when you can have a conversation with understanding and your tone shifts, what happens is they put their walls down and an honest conversation can happen. Say, I understand what you were thinking when you did that, or I understand where you're coming from, or I understand why you said that way. This is a hard thing. Listen to me. I'm not perfect at this. Just go ask my wife. Like, this is a hard thing in a heated emotional state. But we as leaders have to think outside of our emotions and put ourselves in the shoes of another person. What went into the decision they made? Why did they react that way? What's the past history, or what are they dealing with? When we do that, guess what we're going to do? We're going to have more compassion, and we get to respond with more kindness. Don't take it from me. Thousands and thousands of years ago, the wisest man in the world, Solomon, go read the book of Proverbs. He laid it with you. Watch what he says in Proverbs 10. The words of the godly are life-giving fountain. Hatred stirs up quarrels, but love makes up for all offenses. Wise words come from the lips of people with understanding. See that? Wise words come when you understand where someone's coming from. Proverbs 12 says, some people make cutting remarks, but the words of the wise bring healing. We don't criticize. We don't complain. We're trying to bring healing, right? Proverbs 13, wise people think before they act. Fools don't, and even brag about their foolishness. You ever met somebody who goes, man, I put them in their place. Ooh, I posted that comment and laid them out. I chewed them up one end and down the other. They'll think, fools brag about it, but wise people go, oh, no, I got to think. I'm going to step out of my emotions and think about this, right? Proverbs 15:1, a gentle answer deflects anger. Harsh words make the tippers flare. 16, kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. It goes on and on and on. This is what Solomon understood. We got to care about how we say things. So don't criticize. Don't complain. Don't condemn. Let's learn to get understanding of where someone's coming from, because that's going to breed sympathy, tolerance, and kindness. Can we be kind people? Can we be tolerant people? Can we have compassion like Jesus? If we can, we're going to lead people to health, not death. All right, guys. Hope to connect with you again in another coffee talk. I got some good ones coming next week. Love you guys. Pray God's peace.